What is up everyone, it is Synchron here, and today I'll be bringing you my Zombie Lair Darkness deck profile. Basically what this card does, you can either activate Zombie World just to set up the Doom King negates, or you activate cards like Lilith to search the normal traps, and if you want, once you're done tributing, you could bring out Diablos if he's in your hand or grave. I'll explain more later in the video, so let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the zombies of the deck, we do run the boss monster of most zombie decks. Doom King, basically what this card does is, if it's in the grave, special summon it during your standby phase. No, if a field spell is on the field while this card's in the grave, during your standby phase, special summon it, and activate one of the following effects, except during the damage step. It's also a quick effect, so you can activate it on your opponent's turn. You can either banish one monster from the field or grave, or negate the activation of a zombie monster. Now, why that's amazing, especially with Zombie World, is Zombie World makes all monsters on the field and in the grave zombies. So if your opponent were to hand trap you, that hand trap is in the grave, you can negate it, because once it hits the grave, it's a zombie, and yeah, once it hits the grave, it becomes a zombie, and that hand trap can't activate its effects, basically. Next staple of zombie decks, Dumazuki. Banish it from the grave, special summon a zombie from the grave. 2 Gozuki, not bad. Foolish Burial for the deck. And you can banish it from the grave, special summon a zombie from the hand. Target for Gozuki, really Glow Up Bloom. Basically, you can banish this card from your grave, add a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand, or if you control Zombie World, you can special summon that monster instead. So, pretty easy special summon, I love it. But I feel like 2 is good enough. 2 Necro Banshee. Basically what this card does is, neither player can target Zombie World if it's in the field zone, and you can banish this card from your grave. Either add or activate a Zombie World from your deck to your hand. Alright, so going off the Lair Darkness monsters next, we do run 2 Diablos. Basically, if this card, if a card effect that requires the tribute of a dark monster activates, and this card's in your hand or grave, you can easily special summon this card. It can't be kaiju'd, it can't be targeted with card effects, and its second effect is you contribute a dark monster to make your opponent place 1 card from their hand to either the top or the bottom of their deck. But the majority of the time, we just use it to sit on, and 3000 beater really on the field, so make it harder for your opponent to get to your life points. Second card, 2 Wicked Warden. You can discard it, add a Lair of Darkness. So, you know, kind of similar to Banshee, but this one discards itself instead. And you can tribute a dark monster, draw 1 card, or if you tribute a dark monster other than itself, you can add a dark monster with 2000 or more 2000 or more defense from your deck to your hand instead. So, pretty good search as well, especially for Doom King and Diablos. And for the final card, for the final part of the Lair Darkness version, I do run 3 Lilith, just to search out the Eradicator Virus and the other Shiranui trap cards that we run in the deck, just to get rid of your opponent's back row, etc. Cards like that. Basically, what Lilith does, kind of similar to what it said, but you have to tribute a monster or tribute itself to activate its effect. Alright, so going off to the Lair Darkness cards, we do run 2 Diablos. If a card effect is activated that requires the tribute of a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand or grave. And with this card, the protection effect this card has built in is it can't be kaiju'd and it can't be targeted by card effects. Its final effect is that you can tribute a dark monster and make your opponent put 1 card from their hand to either the top or the bottom of their deck. But the majority of the time, you get it on the field for easy protection. Easy boss monster on the field, and just easy special summon even if it's in the grave. Next up, to search Diablos and maybe Doom King, Wicked Warden. Basically, tribute a dark monster, draw a card, or tribute a dark monster other than Warden, and add a 2000 or more defense monster from your deck to your hand. And discard to add a Lair of Darkness from your deck to your hand. And finally, rounding off the Lair of Darkness trio, I guess you could call them, is Lilith. Basically, tribute a dark monster and tribute a dark monster and search 3 normal traps from your deck. Doesn't matter the name, so just search. You can even search 3 of the same one. shuffle them face down and make your opponent choose one to randomly set to your side of the field, and the rest go back into the deck. And if you want, and if you have Lair of Darkness, you could also tribute a monster your opponent controls and keep Lilith on your side of the field, which is just as good, really. Alright, and rounding off the monsters, we do run one card that was from the Lair of Darkness structure deck, but I don't consider it to be part of the main trio. It's just kind of there, but it's also nice for tribute effects. Basically, the Duke Shade, Sinister Shadow Lord, what this card does is you can easily special summon it by attributing dark monsters on the field, and even if Lair of Darkness is on the field, you can possibly tribute one monster your opponent controls. So, you know, tribute as many dark monsters you control and one monster they control. Gains 500 for each tributed dark monster. And Lair of Darkness is a card that makes everything dark on the field, so even if your opponent may have a monster that was not originally dark, it counts as a dark monster, basically. Alright, like I said, gains 500, and what this card does, if it's normal summon or special summoned, you can target one level 5 or higher dark monster in your grave and add it to your hand. But the only restriction here is that you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except dark monsters, which for some builds might actually be a problem, but, you know, like my Shiranui build, but not for this deck. And, you know, rounding off the monsters, 2 Thunderbird, just force your opponent to choose from your hand if they call it wrong. You know, if they don't call Thunderbird special summon, if this card is discarded, target a set spell or trap they control and destroy it. And, you know, just for the easy special summon for the rank 8 builds we do run in this deck. Alright, so going off on these spells, we do run 3 Zombie World, just like every zombie deck, mainly because we want to make all monsters on the field and in the grave zombies. Doesn't really hurt the Lair of Darkness build either, since either way, you can always banish the Mizuki and just get a free Diablos back on your side of the field if you can't tribute. And Lair of Darkness, make all monsters on the field dark monsters, and it allows you to tribute one dark monster your opponent controls as if you controlled it. 2 Terraforming, just to search all field spells in case you can't get to Banshee or the Wicked Warden. 2 Enemy Controller, just for the easy just to activate the tribute effect and bring back Diablos. And take control of one of your opponent's monsters and possibly link summon with them. Especially since when Lair of Darkness is on the field, that monster will be a dark monster, so you can go for Wind Witch Apprentice. Monster Gate, Tribute, and easy special summon from the deck. 2 Lair, the majority of the deck is dark, so it's really not going to hurt the deck at all. Monster Reborn, and actually, yeah, we could go to the traps. 3 Eradicator Virus. Basically, you tribute a dark monster, obviously activating Doom King's effect, with 2500 or more attack, and declare 1 type, spell or trap, and look at your opponent's hand and all spell or traps they control and all cards they draw until the end of the 3rd turn. After this card's activation, destroy all cards of that declared type. Now, I'm not gonna lie, most of the people either run this card just for the Sky Circus, but you can also possibly get deal with your opponent's Salamangreat trap cards and spell cards if they do have it on their side of the field. Return of the Zombies, basically just for the easy banish of opponent's monsters. And 2 Shiranui style success. The reason why I run this is, again, Zombie World. It's an easy special summon from the hand, but if you banish this card from your grave, you can actually target a zombie monster you control, and it is unaffected by other card effects except its own. So basically, just kind of easy zombie protection for any monsters you happen to control. The final part of the video, we don't really go in a lot into the extra deck with rank 4s, but it is there just in case. Yeah, Exciton Knight, basically just to blow up the field in case your opponent has more cards in their hand and field than you do. Castell, deal with the face-up opponent's monster that might actually be problematic, just bounce it back into the deck. Cypher, take an opponent's monster, and it's considered a Cypher Dragon until the end of this turn, but you probably have to give it back. Unless you have Lair of Darkness, just dark, and then that opponent's monster is now a dark, you can basically link summon away with YuGiOh's Apprentice. But number 38, just to deal with the opponent's problematic spell cards, Underclock Taker, mainly for the Cypher Dragon and to get rid of your opponent's problematic monster that way. And YuGiOh's Apprentice, Lair Darkness, target, enemy controller, Cypher Dragon, your opponent's monster, and just link away. But all that said, yeah, that's about it with the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed, and any different preferences, by all means, have your voice heard in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.